Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. We begin in the name of Almighty Allah, the most magnificent, the ever merciful. We glorify Him, we praise Him, and of course we do elevate His name as He ought to be elevated. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Once again, I take the opportunity to extend to you the eternal and of course the universal salutation of peace. May the peace, blessings and mercies of Almighty Allah be upon you. Well, a most pleasant good evening going out to one and all on this beautiful Monday evening. I'm your host and brother in humanity, Imam Ghani, here in your company once again on this, the 26th day of fasting here in Trinidad and Tobago during the course of the holy month of Ramadan for this year 2026 according to the Islamic calendar for the year 1447. So we are coming very close now to the end of the month of Ramadan. As a matter of fact, when we break fast this evening, we'll be entering into the 27th night of the month of Ramadan, which of course could be Laylatul Qadr, could be the night of power. The time for the breaking of the fast this evening is once again 6:20 p.m. and the time to stop eating tomorrow morning is 4:57 a.m. So as we are now coming to the end of another day of fasting, the day 26 to be exact, here in Trinidad and Tobago, of course allow me now to take the opportunity to officially welcome you live on here, live on the internet, and of course live across our social feeds as well for another segment of Iftaar with the Imam for the year 2026. As always, you can send me a message via the WhatsApp number 2994103. Alternatively, you can send me a message via the social feeds as well. As always, I must add, it's indeed an absolute honor and of course a personal pleasure to be in your company as we continue on with special Ramadan programming right here on 103.1 FM. Well, on the program this evening, I'll be talking about the concept that tiny habits lead to big change. And now that we are in the closing stages of the month of Ramadan, now that we are getting geared up for the post-Ramadan period, it's important to keep that in mind, that tiny habits lead to big change. That's our talking point for this evening, coming up in just a short bit. Of course, I've got a few beautiful Islamic selections coming your way as well. I'll be taking you through to the live breaking of the fast this evening right here on 103.1 FM. I also must take the opportunity as well to say a very special thank you going out to the sponsors. The program this evening is being brought to you through the kind courtesies of Presidential Insurance Company Limited, Chief Brand Products Limited, The Price Club Supermarket, Top Gear Auto Parts and Services, and City Furniture Limited. But at this point in the program, I'd like to now urge you to join me in a very short opening prayer. All praises are due to Almighty Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the magnificent, the merciful, Master of the Day of Judgment. O Allah, it is you do we worship, and from you only do we ask for help. Guide us to the straight path, the path of those upon whom you have bestowed your favor, not the path of those who have evoked your anger, nor the path of those who have gone astray. Ameen Ya Rabbal Alameen. Well, at this point in the program, we now look to get straight into our short lecture segment. And like mentioned before, this evening we are talking about the concept that tiny habits lead to big change. And let me begin by asking you a question. How many times have you ever made a New Year's resolution? And how many times have you actually stuck with it after the first 2 or 3 months? Well, I want to tell you that you are not alone. Studies have shown that over 80% of people abandon their resolutions by the month of February. We often aim for massive, sweeping transformations year after year. I want to lose 20 pounds, 30 pounds. I want to write a book. I want to meditate for an hour every single day. I want to quit all sugar and so on and so forth. Of course, these goals are all noble, but they are also very overwhelming at times. But what if I told you that the key to lasting change, the key to real, meaningful, sustainable transformation isn't in these grand gestures, but the key lies with the tiny, almost invisible decisions that you make every single day. And that's why this evening we are talking about the power of tiny habits, the small habits that we sometimes tend to ignore, and why they are the secret weapon of high achievers and successful entrepreneurs, healthy individuals, and of course fulfilled people. So this evening, let's begin by first of all understanding the concept of tiny steps. Now, in life, every significant goal you wish to attain can seem very overwhelming at first, whether it's pursuing an academic degree, completing a marathon, or making changes to your spiritual life. From the onset, you can feel daunted. However, if you break these goals down into smaller, manageable tasks, they become more achievable. Consider the saying that Rome wasn't built in a day, and this emphasizes the importance of patience and persistence. And that is what we must understand throughout the course of the month of Ramadan as well. Great achievements often require time. They often require commitment and consistent effort, persevering along a particular path. And these tiny steps eventually form the building blocks of your success, whether it's in the month of Ramadan and beyond as well. So as you step into the post-Ramadan period, which is coming up in just a few days, it is easy to feel the pressure to make big changes all of a sudden in your life. You seek to transform your life overnight, as a result of which you make all these grand resolutions with the intention and with the hope of drastic positive change in your life. But in reality, you don't need massive action to make massive change. In reality, the secret isn't in grand resolutions, but the secret is indeed in tiny habits. Each small action, while seemingly insignificant in isolation, can lead to significant changes over time. And as long as you continue to persevere along a particular path, along a path of positivity, you will experience a ripple effect with regards to your personal transformation. Each positive action builds your character and leads to holistic personal development. The consistent practice of tiny steps can mold you into a more disciplined, a more focused, and of course a more compassionate individual. You will experience a ripple effect with regards to community building as well. I mean, in the context of the month of Ramadan, the accumulation of individual efforts can transform communities. Acts of kindness and charity inspire others as well. And when one person commits to small, meaningful actions, they tend to inspire those around them to do the same as well, creating a web of positivity within communities. You will also experience a ripple effect with regards to your spiritual growth. Spiritually, tiny steps lead to a more profound relationship with your faith. Each prayer, each moment of reflection, each fast, each and every single act of kindness serves as a stepping stone towards a deeper understanding and towards a deeper connection with the Divine Almighty. So I wanted to share with you a story that I came across recently. So there's a man who goes by the name of James Clear, the author of a book called Atomic Habits. He wrote in that book that you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. And he shared the story of the British cycling team who was stuck in mediocrity for over a century. And then all of a sudden came a new coach who did not focus on anything grand. He did not focus on any grand changes. He focused on the tiny habits, 1% improvements in every area. Like adjusting the bike seat slightly, refining nutrition, improving sleep. And within a few years, this team went from winning absolutely nothing to dominating the Olympics. Not because they trained harder than everyone else, but because they mastered the art of small, consistent improvements. And that's the trick when you transition out of Ramadan into the post-Ramadan period. Small, consistent improvements. Consistency is the key. Now, it's important to understand, why do tiny habits work? Well, first of all, they bypass resistance. If you ask someone to run a marathon tomorrow, they'll probably avoid it. But if you were to put on your running shoes and step outside for 2 minutes every single day, your brain will say, okay, I can handle that. And then that's where you bypass the resistance, so to speak. Tiny habits build identity. Tiny habits may seem small, but they send a powerful message to your brain that this is who I am. And every time you persevere along a path of goodness, that's another block built into your positive identity as well. Tiny habits also compound over time, just like money compounds with interest and growth. Habits also tend to compound with repetition, one after the next. Each tiny step, once repeated daily, becomes a routine, then it becomes a system, and then eventually it becomes your lifestyle as well. I mean, brushing your teeth doesn't give you immediate results, but you do it every single day, and you would be able to protect your health for decades. A tiny habit is so small, it is almost effortless. It is so consistent that it becomes automatic. It is so powerful that it reshapes your identity. So think of it this way, a 1% improvement every day for a year, it doesn't just add up, it multiplies. And if you put this into your real life scenarios, you will begin to see things adding up. I mean, if you want to get fit, start by doing 1 push-up a day. If you want to write a book, write 1 sentence every morning. If you want to be more mindful, take a deep breath before, every situation, before every meal and so on. I mean, all of these small habits may seem laughable, but that's the point. They're easy to start and hard to stop. Once you start, momentum begins to build up. 1 push-up becomes 10. 1 sentence becomes a chapter. 1 breath becomes, a meditation habit, as the case may be. So here's my challenge to you as you look to transition out of the month of Ramadan back to your normal schedule. Don't aim to change your whole life overnight. Aim to change one tiny thing consistently, because consistency is the key. Pick one habit, make it so small that it's impossible to fail, and then repeat it daily without exception. Because the truth is, big goals don't change your life. Small habits do. And over time, those habits that you persisted along will eventually change who you are. You go from someone who tries to someone who becomes something. You go from someone who starts to someone who finishes. You go from someone wishing for change to someone becoming change. Continuous small improvements, not a revolution, not an overnight evolution. Consistent and small. And as you face the prospect of a new day or a new week, a new year, as the case may be, ask yourself, what is one tiny habit that I can start today that my future self will thank me for? Because we have heard this saying many times before, that the journey of 1,000 miles doesn't begin with a huge leap. It begins with a small tiny step in the right direction, a tiny step. And that tiny step can literally change everything as long as you continue to persist along that path. And the most powerful systems are built with tiny habits. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for the perfect Monday morning, or the perfect week to come around, or the perfect month to come around. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for a new month or a new year. Start now. Start now. Start small. Start today. Start with the intention of being consistent. Because when you think about it, tiny hinges are able to swing big doors. And the tiny habits, they will build huge lives ahead of you. So in conclusion, as we are now coming to the end of this holy month of Ramadan, of course, we've got one eye left on trying to maximize the time left in the month of Ramadan, but the other eye is now focused on the post-Ramadan era. And as you navigate this transition, as you navigate through life, as a matter of fact, remember that great things are rarely achieved overnight. It is essential to embrace the philosophy that every small drop in the bucket counts. And Ramadan provides a perfect backdrop for reflecting on this principle. This holy month encourages us to engage in tiny steps, whether through fasting, prayer, charity, or even personal reflection. And we are reminded that these will eventually lead towards a more meaningful existence upon the face of the earth. So as you continue on your journey during and post Ramadan, cherish each step you take, knowing that they collectively contribute to your larger goals and to your larger aspirations to become a better human being here upon the face of the earth. So with that saying, I wish you a meaningful and transformative journey throughout the remaining month of Ramadan and also beyond as well. And tonight being that it is the 27th night of the month of Ramadan, may Almighty Allah grant us the ability that we can continue to seek out the night of power and we can use it to the best of our ability as we continue on with the journey of the month of Ramadan for this year 2026.
يا من هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الرحمن الرحيم الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر الخالق الباري المصور الغفار القهار الوهاب الرزاق الفتاح العليم القابض الباسط الخافض الرافع المعز المذل السميع البصير الحكم العدل اللطيف الخبير الحليم العظيم الغفور الشكور العلي الكبير الحفيظ المقيم الحسيب الجليل الكريم الرقيب المجيب الواسع الحكيم الودود المجيد الباعث الشهيد الحق المكين القوي المتين الولي الحميد المحسن المبدي المعيد المحيي المميت الحي القيوم الواجد الماجد الواحد الصمد القادر المقتدر المقدم المؤخر الأول الآخر الظاهر الباطن الوالي المتعال البر التواب المنتقم العفو الرؤوف مالك الملك ذو الجلال والإكرام المقسط الجامع الغني المغني المانع الصار النافي النور الهادي البديع الباقي الوارث الرشيد الصبور.
Well, the time now in Trinidad and Tobago is 6:20 p.m. It's now time for the live breaking of the fast right here on 103.1 FM. The breaking of the fast this evening is being brought to you through the kind courtesies of Presidential Insurance Company Limited, Chief Brand Products Limited, the Price Club Supermarket, Top Care Auto Parts and Services, and City Furniture Limited. And now that we have completed 26 days of fasting during the course of the holy month of Ramadan, once again we do break our fast with a very special prayer, and that prayer is ذهب الظمأ وابتلت العروق وثبت الأجر إن شاء الله تعالى اللهم لك صمت وعلى رزقك أفطرت. That the thirst is now gone and the veins are now moistened, and the reward will be guaranteed from Almighty Allah if Allah wills. O Allah, for you I have fasted this day, and O Allah, I break the fast with the sustenance that you have provided for me. And of course, we pray that Almighty Allah accepts our fasting this day. May Almighty Allah continue to accept all of our efforts throughout the course of the month of Ramadan. And tonight being the night of the 27th night, and if it's a night of power, may Almighty Allah make it possible that we can use this night to our benefit as we continue to move on through this wonderful month of Ramadan.
Allah أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة
دعاء after أذان. اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة آت محمدا الوسيلة والفضيلة وبعثه مقاما محمودا الذي وعدته. O Allah, Lord of this perfect call and this prayer to be established, grant Muhammad al-Wasila a high and special place in Jannah, and al-Fadila a rank above the rest of creation, and raise him to a praised platform which you have promised him.
Presidential Insurance Company specializes in all classes of motor insurance. Presidential are also experts in fire and marine insurance and workmen's compensation. For total insurance coverage, think Presidential. Call or visit Presidential's main office at 54 Richmond Street, Port of Spain. Telephone 625-4788 or 625-4769. You may also visit any of their branches at Chaguanas, Couva, Curep, Point Fortin, Princestown, Pinal, Sangre Grande or San Fernando. Think insurance. Think big. Think Presidential now.
At the Price Club, they're always committed to excellence. They provide well-stocked lanes with grocery, gift and religious items, a vegetable and meat section, car care and household department, and a home and garden section. Their wide, spacious aisles provide you with an extremely convenient and comfortable shopping experience. And their friendly staff is always willing to assist you. Ample and secured on-site parking is available. The Price Club Supermarket, the low price leader, Ramsaran Street, Chaguanas.
For the best results, even professional bakers depend on the right baking powder, and so should you. Use Chief baking powder and add fluffy perfection to your bread, pastries and cakes. Make your roti, bara and pulari soft and light, and homemade bake that's nice and tender. And don't forget, Chief baking powder comes from a tradition of quality that the Chief brand is famous for.
Chief Baking Powder, the rise to perfection.
Yes, indeed, you have been listening to Iftar with the Imam right here on 103.1 FM as we have now come to the end of the 26th day of fasting of the holy month of Ramadan. And now we commence the 27th night, which of course is the fourth odd night in the month of Ramadan. We've got one odd night left, which will be on Wednesday night. We continue to seek out Laylatul Qadr. May Almighty Allah make it easy upon us. Now that we're coming to the end of the program for this evening, I want to take the opportunity to say a very special thank you going out to the sponsors. The program this evening has been brought to you through the kind courtesies of Presidential Insurance Company Limited, Chief Brand Products Limited, the Price Club Supermarket, Top Gear Auto Parts and Services, and City Furniture Limited. Special salams and greetings of peace going out to you as well, our listeners and viewers who have joined us in the program this evening. Thank you so much for the pleasure of your company. May the blessings and the mercies of the Almighty be with you. Of course, it was indeed an absolute pleasure to be in your company over the past half an hour or so. By all means, you can catch me tomorrow evening from 6 p.m. for another segment of Iftar with the Imam, and also tomorrow morning from 3 a.m. as we continue on with special Ramadan programming right here on 103.1 FM. Well, I'm your host and brother in humanity, Imam Safraz Ghani, signing out for this evening. Until we meet again, please do have an extremely blessed evening. Stay safe, stay in the mercy of the Almighty. Much love, and may the peace, blessings and mercies of Almighty Allah be with you. Coming up next is news at 6:30. Most definitely do keep it locked on to 103.1 FM for more inspirational and of course motivational programming throughout the course of this month of Ramadan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
मैं भटका हुआ था, परेशान था मैं, सहा